Salutations, everyone. Salamander here, and in this episode of the Hadal Dimension, I'm going to describe the predator known as the Boogeyman. Now, the drawing you probably see on your screen isn't exactly. It's an old drawing, and there's likely some things that are probably different now. And if I ever draw the Boogeyman again, he's probably going to have a little bit of a difference. Probably, most notably, he'd probably have a bit more properly proportioned parts to him. But anyway, the Boogeyman is clearly a carnivore of rather nightmarish proportions and is actually one of the uh, few predators that can actually teleport like essentially eh, sorry is capable of interdimensional travel without the need of a rift. Now, this predator in particular, like the ghosts of the prior episode, are is heavily um known to have, I guess, played a role in some around human culture or whatnot, and probably I'm sorry, I keep stuttering. Probably showed up around the dark ages of humanity, in which this creature inspired the stories of the Boogeyman by essentially having the ethereal ability to use shadows like a teleport of sorts. Like it can essentially show up using your shadow as like a gateway or whatnot. So this creature will essentially teleport inside of a closet or under a bed, and was is known to essentially ambush its prey, which, unlike the previous two predators that had been described so far, primarily consists of humans. And so this creature will usually await in the shadows and toy with its prey, using ethereal abilities to cause you massive nightmares and hallucinations, such as if you ask who's there, you're probably going to hear a voice saying it's the Boogeyman or something like that. And it's not been determined if it's the creature itself that's saying this or if it indeed is a auditory hallucination. What is known is that this creature seems to really prefer inducing the most amount of fear in its victim as much as possible. Why this isn't entirely known. It just appears to be that it will, again, toy with its victims before it actually full on uh, ambushes them. So what it would do when it does is it essentially would likely grab you either when you're going to check the closet or when you go to bed. It would grab you and drag you into the darkness of the either the closet the or beneath the bed, and no one would ever see or hear from you again. And essentially it is rightfully assumed that this means that it has es- dragged you back into its den on its home planet within the Hadal dimension and has killed and consumed you. Unfortunately, not much else is known of this creature, as unlike the ghosts and the night collector, this creature in particular is definitely not going to be seen running around out in the open, as as it has no active camouflage or anything, and it prefers to hide away in the shadows and darkness where no one would be able to see it anyway in the first place. Um, it is a reasonably sized creature. It would definitely be like probably 6 feet tall or so. I'm not good with giving a good size estimate. I'm just trying to give you a rough estimate. That this thing is pretty big, and should terrify you that this thing is even able to somehow manage to stay hidden underneath your bed or closet without despite its size. It is a rather nightmarish creature. I don't know when I designed it. I know I designed that it might have been around high school or something. I don't remember. I think, or maybe it was in college, and I think it was sometime around learning about the Boogeyman, and I made this thing. This, I wanted to have the Hadal dimension and the creatures in it, some of them, at least the ones that we know of, be things that kind of have somewhat influenced human history in not so monumental mental ways. Some, at least so far, so as to kind of show the presence the Hadal dimension has in every dimension, just basically everywhere, in this subtle and not so upfront manner, at least when it comes to the predators. So that should just about wrap it up on the Boogeyman, and I hope you at least found this to be somewhat interesting and continue to find this series at least a little bit intriguing. And I will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.